What's up guys, Badger1 here with Badger Team. I'm going to do a tutorial video right quick. I've had some questions from a teammate of mine on how to link tasks together when you're building a mission. This is the simpler way to do it. There's a little more complex way to do it, but it's not really necessary. Unless you're just really anal about how your objectives pop up on your screen while you play. Like I said, this is the simplest way to do it. And so I'll just give you a rundown. I'll show you right now. Right now we have one task assigned, and that's to halo jump to this marker right here. As you can see on the map, there's nothing else to do at this point on the map but other than jump into this LZ. And then once you get here, it assigns you a task followed by another task followed by another task. You can have as many of them linked as you want. For this demonstration, I've only done 3 tasks linked together. But I'll just kind of show you what it looks like first, and then we'll go into editor, and then I'll show you how to assemble it all so that you'll know how to put it together in your missions. So as you can see, we parachuted into the LZ and it completed that task, and then it immediately assigned the next task, which is right down here below us with the marker. So we will go down here where the marker is located. I'll also show you how to put the descriptions and everything in these tasks. So you can have a little bit of detail in there so your players will know exactly what they're supposed to be doing, like it says here. Move to the compound, destroy the ammo cache. I'll show you where to put all that information so you'll know. But this is our ammo cache right here, so we're just going to put a couple of charges on it. Get a safe distance away here. So as you can see, the marker's still up. The objective is still showing uncompleted. We're going to detonate our charges. Set that up. Okay. Let's use a different explosive since that one didn't work. Not a big deal. Let's try to load this again. As you can see, it completed that task and then assigned us our last task of Bravo 1, which is right up here. this objective, which is move to the LZ and call for a helo. At this point, we'll just call for our helicopter and we can get picked up. We'll exit out of this. I'll go into the editor and show you how to set this up. So this is my base here that I've built. This is all the normal stuff that I put in my missions. Got an arsenal, your halo jump flag. I've got some supports and everything put down. But out over here is where the objectives were, so let's go over there. And this is our first objective right here. So if you look under systems, we have task 1, task 2, task 3. This is task number 1. This can be found in modules under systems, F5. And you're just going to do create task and put that down, which is what this is. Title, you can give it a name. This is what the players will see on their task list. The description is actually the description of what the players are going to be doing when it's tasked. The reason you want to name these is so that you can keep track of them yourself as a mission builder when you're building these and putting these down. If you have a dozen tasks linked together, you're going to want to keep track of them as you build them. That's really the only significance, the way this setup is built for naming them. So you can look over here in tray after you're linking your tasks, and you can say, okay, I'm at task 4, now it's time to do task 5, that kind of thing. If you want this selected on created at the start of the mission, that way the very first thing the players see that they're supposed to do to start off the mission is to parachute into this area. Ownership is pretty important. You can set this for all playable units, or you can do it for just your Blue 4 players. There's lots of different ways that you can set this up. I usually just set it for Blue 4, typically because we just play as Blue 4 units. Module position is another important. If you're real big on immersion and you say, hey, parachute onto hilltop 49 near such and such village, you can disable this and it will not put a marker on the map to tell the guys where they need to go. Just for simplicity's sake, I had it selected as module position so that when the mission first starts, there's a yellow marker here so the guys know where they're supposed to go. You can select the type of marker that's displayed, so that it kind of gives them an idea of kind of what they're supposed to be doing. I could have simply used one of these move waypoints, but I picked land instead. You can set that up there. Another thing that you can switch out to is this always visible checkbox. When this task is completed, this marker and this task all together will disappear. But if you want to have your team to have a way to know of maybe where they've been and what they've done, you can check that box to always visible. And that way when this task completes, it'll still show up on the map. Since these objectives were so close together, and usually on the missions that I build, I just have them disappear when the task is completed. So that's the way you set up your first trigger to get assigned. Make sure you give it a name, task 1, owner for Blue 4, and give it a title, and give it a description. Give it a position on the map, set your marker, and make sure this is set to created. Now, in order to have this objective complete, you're going to come over here and select a set task state marker, which is what this check mark is. And you're going to set it to succeeded. Now in order for that to become succeeded, you have to place a trigger down, and that trigger is blue 4 present. So when my blue 4 team shows up anywhere in this area, it will complete that objective and assign the next one. And the way you get it to assign the next one is that you'll go down here, you'll place another create task. Okay, this is going to be task 2, so the number 2 task, the second thing that the team is going to do after they land. I have named it Alpha 1-2 for simplicity's sake. Move to the compound and destroy the ammo cache. You're going to change it from created to assigned. And I've changed the task type marker to destroy. Now, what's very important is that you sync this assigned task to the trigger from the previous task, and you can do that just by hitting sync to and dragging the blue line down and attaching it to the new assigned task. And then the rest of it is set up exactly the same way. You put a set task state down, succeeded. How is this succeeded? This is my ammo cache right here. I've given it a variable name of cache 1, you can see right here. And the trigger that makes this say that this task is done is simply not alive cache 1, so that when this thing is destroyed, it succeeds this and completes this whole objective. And you see this blue line here that's attached to this one is for our final task, which is back up here on the hill, and this is task 3. Task 3 again is labeled up here in variable name as task 3. The owner is blue 4. This is a new one, Bravo 1. Move to the LC and call for helo extract, and this is going to be set to assigned. Again, I changed the task type marker to the little exit symbol so that the team will know that that's kind of the position that they're supposed to go to get out of here. Give it a task state succeeded. Check that. How is it succeeded? When blue 4 is present anywhere inside this trigger area. So leave this alone. This basically just means that whatever you tell it in this box is this. When this happens, the trigger says yes. Sync the trigger to the task state, and then that's it. After they get to this area, no more task will be assigned. Now if we wanted a task number 4, I'll go ahead and set that up and show you what that looks like. So we're going to do create task. We're going to name it task 4. We're going to assign it to blue 4. We're going to give it Bravo 1-2. Fly to this LZ, and it's going to be assigned. We'll go ahead and do that as a, put it as a helicopter marker. Set task state, succeeded. And then how is it going to succeed? And we're going to put a trigger down, and we're going to make it fairly big. Let's say 30 with a height of 15. Blue 4 present, and OK. Now you're going to link this to this, and this to this. Now how do we assign this after we've completed this one? Is that we come over here to this trigger and click on it, hit connect, sync to. And connect it to this new assignment. Now if we wanted them to fly over here, land, get out, and go to an objective maybe somewhere over here in the mountains, we would add a task number 5, and so on and so on and so on. You could do as many of them as you want to in a mission. So let's go and save this, and we'll hit play. And beyond that 4th task being added, everything should still look the same. This map is a new map that I started using. Another good find from Badger 3. It's called Esbin Valley by Max. It's available to download on Steam if you want to check it out. It's a really good Afghanistan terrain for playing.
Be advised, support units are now on standby. Out.
Missions. So here we are in our base. We look at our tasks. We should have Alpha 1-1 is still there. So this is what we're supposed to do first. Let's go ahead and go into Arsenal. We'll get our explosives that we can use. Hopefully get the right explosives this time. Let's add... Okay. We'll come over here to our halo. Let's go ahead and assign that. This is cool too. Wherever you put this marker, you can hit locate. It'll zoom out and zoom down in, so your team will know where they're supposed to go. And if you go to your halo jump, you're right on top of the position you're supposed to go to. So there it went again. We completed the first task. It assigned the second task, which is just down the hill over here. Hopefully blow it up on the first try this time instead of having to do it twice. Here, set our charges. Probably would really only take one of these charges to blow this, but we'll do 2 just to make sure. So Alpha 1-2 is completed. Bravo 1 is assigned. Come through to the Bravo objective. Notice Bravo is still the only task available. Once we get here, it will assign Bravo 1-2. It should. And there it is, it just popped up over there. And so Bravo 1's completed. Bravo 1-2 is assigned, which moved compound, or no, fly to this LZ. So at this point I can just access my helicopter transports.
Requesting airlift at the designated coordinates, over.
Roger, transport dispatched.
And my base is out that way somewhere, so the helicopter should be flying from that direction. And so when this helo lands, I will tell him to move to this marker area. down here. There's our airlift.
Everyone in? Let's get out of here. Copy. We're moving up. We're here. Good luck up there.
And at this point, our mission is completed and we have no further tasks. It's pretty simple to set up. I will go back in here and go over a couple of points right quick. To make on these the create tasks, destination module position or asynchronized object, or disable altogether. If you wanted to have your team search this compound for that ammo cache, you could do disabled, and it would just move it. They would just know. You would have to put in the description, move to such and such compound, or give them coordinates or something, and that way they're not running right to the marker and finding the cache. If you wanted to make it a little more immersive. If you wanted to attach this to, say, a person or a vehicle that was going to be moving, say you had a unit that was on task patrol that you wanted the team to eliminate, you could sync this to a unit and this marker will follow that unit wherever it goes on the map. So say you put down an OPFOR unit. Let's just do one, for example, ammo bearer. You can simply sync it to him. Now, if he was labeled cache 1 as the variable name, if he was cache 1 and he was walking all over this compound, this marker would be moving with him, so your team would know exactly where he was at all times. That can make for a pretty cool setup if you've got like an HVT elimination or something like that, taken out of a specific vehicle that's actually moving on the map that your team has to hunt down. That way they can keep track of it on the map. This marker will follow that unit wherever it goes. Likewise, I can sync this to the ammo cache. So instead of the marker being here, the marker is going to pop up right on top of this cache, so your team knows exactly where to go every time. If I click unsync this, it's going to take all the sync lines off. If in your testing you come across and you have one task appearing before another task, things are coming up out of order, it's because you have them either synced incorrectly or not synced at all. There's some problem areas to look out for, and the way that you move the states from creation to assigned. I actually clicked on the trigger on that. Since this is our first objective, I have it set as created, so this is the first thing that the team sees. Any objective after that that is going to be linked in sequence needs to be set to assigned, because it won't be assigned until the first one is done, if that makes sense. Just like I've got them set up here. So there you go. I hope that was helpful, and if you've got any questions or comments, just leave them in the text below the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.